Well, hello again, Golden Eagles, and welcome to another edition of Southern Miss Stories. So where would you be without the University of Southern Mississippi? That's a question I've asked of myself, and perhaps you've asked it of yourself. And it's a question I've heard Dr. Eddie Holloway ask of himself and of others over many years now. You know, our current dean of students is about to retire after more than 40 years of service to our institution. And Dr. Holloway, over those years, has meant so much to Southern Miss students. He's been a mentor, he's been a friend, he's been a shoulder to cry on when needed, and he's been there with tough love when needed. And it seems like anybody who's walked our campuses has an Eddie Holloway story. So we couldn't let him get out of here without telling his own. So we're going to ask Dr. Holloway about his career, about his hopes and dreams for Southern Miss, and about what he's going to be up to next. I hope you enjoyed today's Southern Miss story. More than 40 years as a staff member here at the University of Southern Mississippi. Tell me a little bit about what Southern Miss has meant to you.
Well, USM means a lot to me. It's probably more than I would have the time or the words to share. Came out here at 16, totally new experience, an eye-opening experience, almost like the Holloway experiment, and met life's opportunities and experiences to grow and develop. And it has been a pathway to success and a growing experience that words cannot explain.
You mentioned Bill Schaefer at your retirement reception. You mentioned several individuals. Talk about some of those people and what they meant to you in your career.
Well, first of all, Dr. Schaefer was an instructor of mine, a genuine and caring instructor. Some of my best friends and best acquaintances came as a result of my interactions at the University of Southern Mississippi. Lifelong friends. Joe Garvin was a graduate assistant that selected me to work in a summer program that preceded my enrollment in 1970. He allowed me to work with him the following summer in 1971. We are best friends today. Again, Dr. Schaefer, Chet Gardner, who worked in financial aid, Clint Connolly, who worked in residence life. Those people gave me opportunities that I will be eternally grateful for, because it is from those positions and their decisions to accept and give me opportunity that has catapulted me to be in what I am today. Mm-hmm. The instructors, Dr. South, Dr. Shoemaker, Miss Skates, those instructors, I think, were like visionaries into a crystal ball, that they saw the twinkling in my eye that I didn't know but wanted to know. Mm-hmm. And that I would excel if they would give me the opportunity. I was not an exceptionally strong student, but I think I made up for that with my interest, hard work, grit, determination, perseverance, tenacity to become. Mm-hmm. So it's for those that I've named and many, many others. Dr. Lucas, Dr. Ginn, they were just there. Mm-hmm. Maybe not in conversation, but in the hellos. How are you? Good morning. Good evening. May I help you? Hello. They were so welcoming to me. And I'm sure that to an extent it was a new experience for them. Mm-hmm. But the bridges that were built were steady and strong, and they've surpassed the periods of time.
So you grew up in Hattiesburg. Tell me a little bit about growing up in Hattiesburg.
You know, I've read a book by Virginia Satir, and it was entitled People Making. That experience of Hattiesburg growing up was, it should be captured in somebody's book. Losing my mother at an early age, and as I've said before, that church, Mount Carmel Baptist Church, and the Mobile Bowie neighborhood. And I would venture to say all of those ladies that she was their beautician. They gave to me in her absence, to the point that, with the exception of me knowing that my mother was not with me, all of the nurturing and warming experiences, those people provided that for me. So I'm the product of, as I've said, those porch people that would mentor and direct and chastise, guide as I would walk home from school. My teachers lived within a block or two from me. I used their encyclopedias. I played their clarinet in the band. I went there for my nourishments often daily. And I was in and out of most houses in the neighborhood, having keys to access, spending the nights there. And in most of their obituaries, they have listed Eddie Holloway as a surrogate son or a foster child. That's so rewarding to me, for if only those times could be mimicked today for the children that are passing that have the same needs that I had. What a wonderful world it would be.
So at Southern Miss, we have students from 71 different countries. We come from all over, every region of the country, every part of Mississippi. Is it extra special to work at a university, being from Hattiesburg and being just a mile or two, being from just a mile or two down the road?
USM was so enriching because it allowed me, even at this age of 66, to remain youthful. It kept me abreast of literature. It kept me abreast of meeting various and sundry people with various and sundry ideas. It allowed me to foster a climate of acceptance, that my office would be, as we've written in times past, an oasis for student, stakeholders, faculty, and staffs that needed our resources. And we often stated that we didn't wait for the boats to come in, we went out to the boats. So we were anticipating of things. When we would see things that were in the far reach and we saw that they would be coming to us. Not that my experiences were any deeper than anybody else, the thousands of people that have come this way. I would like to think that my view was unique, all-encompassing, and maybe with a greater appreciation than any that I can think of for developing my love for this place, these hallowed halls, these green, evergreen trees, and the atmosphere that the University of Southern Mississippi affords its students. As Dr. Lucas has said, you may have worked at Harvard or Yale. You may have worked at USC or Berkeley, but that may not have prepared you for the experiences of the University of Southern Mississippi. We take students where they are, and we help them develop to where they want to go. It's an open door for those that aspire to achieve greatness. And as Dr. Saunders would say, you can get to your there from right here.
So you've been affiliated with this university now for almost a half a century.
Yes.
What is your hope for Southern Miss, the Southern Miss from 50 years from now?
It's my aim that the university continue to grow, that its footprints are expanding, and that its good story is told and sold perhaps beyond its reach at this time. But on the other hand, the University of Southern Mississippi truly represents Mississippi. We are primarily a first-generational institution of higher learning. We are broadly diverse. We have the greatest opportunity for elevating. In many institutions, the lion's share of their students are from out of state, and once they matriculate, they go yonder ways. USM, the bulk of our students are from here, and the bulk of our students will remain here. So we have the greatest opportunity to lift and serve, sell, and develop our dear state of Mississippi.
How do you hope people will remember your career?
I hope that they will say, there goes a real guy that gave his all for developing students and selling the concept that education is the golden key that will unlock most doors. What would Eddie Holloway have been without USM and the paramount education that I've been afforded? I think the skills, the educational pursuits, and the accomplishment will match all, wherever you name. My aim was to be the best dean of students in the history of higher education of the United States of America. And I say without ego, I think I have been. That nothing defined, no job description contained me in working with our students, working with our families, our staff. That I didn't work and I was not governed by a clock or 40 hours. That I was there where I was needed, when I was needed, and how I was needed. And that I answered to the president and I answered to the janitor. I answered to the students and I answered to parents who aspired information for their to-be students.
So what's next for Eddie Holloway?
Oh, I'm a little bit ambivalent because for 50 years, I've gotten up at 5:30 or 6 each morning, and in many nights went in at 1 or 2, but was right back up at 6:30 or 7. So I have loved the work that I've done. So it's a new world for me. It's a new challenge for me. I hope that my prayers are answered, that as days pass, my chart will be provided for me.
Well, I want to thank you for your time and certainly thank you for your service to the University of Southern Mississippi over all these years. Well, I always like to conclude these interviews by saying Southern Miss
To the top.